I'm Holly.
I'm Leslie.
And we would be dead. Leslie.
Hey, Holly.
Hey, Fiends. Since this week's episode is a part 2, I know, exciting. I'm going to try and cut down the pre-story chit-chat. Just going to get right through, which, as all of you might be able to tell, is really hard for me.
Yep.
I love talking.
We just talked for like 2 hours.
Yeah, we did.
This.
Yeah, we sure did. If you want to hear our side chat parenting podcast, let us know. Because we have lots to offer up about that too. Yeah. But I'm getting off track.
Oh anyway. No, we did it. We did it again.
Now just the thought of overdoing it and talking too much and making our listeners frustrated is making me pale, I think.
And you look gross.
All my color just drained right out of my face. It's awful. Now, normally, under normal circumstances, I would try everything I can to bring a little color back into my cheeks, but we don't have time for that this week.
We don't have time.
I'm going to skip right to looking for a super secret ingredient. Just cut through all of it.
Okay.
Now, this ingredient might be able to cure all of our problems at once. That would be in the interest of time. That's what we want, right?
Yeah.
I've heard that all it takes are just a few precious drops of
validation, a hill worth dying on.
Yes. And best of all, our fiends can give it to us totally free of charge.
Shut the front door. How?
But how? You must be asking yourself. Well,
every week.
Every week. You ask yourself, you ask the people, you ask me. I'm going to tell you how. Simply head on over to Spotify or Apple Podcasts and leave us a 5-star rating and or a friendly review. It really is the only way to move this podcast forward. Ratings and reviews equal attention. Attention equals support. And support equals more and better content for all of you. But if you just can't wait for more We Would Be Dead in your life, don't worry, you don't have to. You can support us over on Patreon. There, for just a few dollars a month, you will gain access to our entire catalog of 30-minute horror movies, our special mini-sodes, our weekly after show, Host Mortem, which is available in both video and audio formats. Maybe you want to see our faces. Maybe we've convinced you that you don't want to see our faces.
I don't want to see them.
I want to see them. If they're beautiful, great. If they're terrifying,
we warned you.
I mean, also, you want to see that because you're here.
Oh, sure.
So
we're grotesque.
Come and look. Either way, you'll also get a special gift in the mail from us. You'll get some giveaways to participate in, some merch deals, and on-air toast dedicated just to you, and more.
Woo-hoo!
Yay! We also have more exclusive content in the works for you, our beloved patrons. But if you have anything patron-wise that you'd like to hear, see, or, experience, please never hesitate to let us know. In all honesty, we are here thanks to our patrons, so come on over and be part of the We Would Be Dead family.
Woo-woo!
We love that. And if all of that is a little too much for you, you can simply follow us on social media. We are at Would Be Dead Pod anywhere and everywhere you get your content. You can like our posts, share our posts, and share our posts.
Yes.
That's a good one. You can leave us a comment, post about your favorite episode, let us know when you're listening, tell a friend, tell a neighbor, tell your local auto repair shop guy. Trust me, it will make sense later. What is their name?
Frenchie.
Oh my. Frenchie. Is it because they're French or a different mysterious reason?
You never know.
I love that. Not French at all, but there's a story.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wanted to say Gary, but
do we have a Gary?
We always have a Gary.
I guess. Maybe there's
just one of those names.
Our neighborhood is just full of lousy with Garys. They're everywhere.
Jerry. Another Jerry. Gary, Jerry, Frenchie. Yeah. It's Frenchie.
Then your friends and Frenchie can become fiends and we can all hang out together and figure out what that story is.
Yeah.
Can tell us where that nickname came from.
Mm-hmm. I love it.
Could be anywhere. Well, I think that is all I have in the way of news. But Leslie, do you have anything to add before we begin?
No.
No. Okay. All right. This week, that's fine.
Okay. I know. I'll save it for next week.
Next week, you better bring it.
I'll save it for next week.
All right, then. On with the show. This week, we are covering part 2 of the disappearance of Bryce Laspisa. This episode will cover the actual events of his disappearance and the searches and investigation that followed. Last week, we covered everything leading up to that point. Now, background information is really important all the time, but I feel like it is especially so in this case because it's really all we have to go on. You know what I mean? Plus, we do talk last week a lot about who Bryce is or was as a person, at least who he was until he disappeared. And in this episode, I got to enjoy that part of the case. Meeting people virtually after they're gone in one way or another is really eerie a lot of the time. It's like a strange thing to do. And it's not always pleasant, nor is it easy. But I did like reading about Bryce. We actually had fun reading his posts and stuff. He seemed fun and funny and not the type of person who would just fall off the face of the earth, which does make it even more confusing. No offense to anybody else I have looked into. It's just a lot of times when you're looking at somebody who's died or gone missing, you're looking into their social media. It can be very sad.
For sure.
Obviously, but I don't know. Just saying. So if you haven't listened to part 1, go back and do that now. I promise part 2 will still be here when you're finished.
Cool.
Okay, so for those who stepped away for part 1, welcome back.
Hey, hey.
Hello. I just have one more note and then we can get into the nitty-gritty. Bryce is still technically classified as missing. We don't know if he's still living or not, which can make the tense, the part of grammar, the tense used to address him when telling the story, kind of difficult. Most of the story is told in past tense because the events happened in the past. But when it comes to talking about Bryce himself, we just kind of don't know where to land. So if you hear a was where you think there should be an is or vice versa, try not to read anything into it. Just can be a little tough.
Guys, go easy on Holly.
Seriously.
Stop coming for her.
No, thankfully our listeners tend to not come for me,
Sure,
which is great. But it does happen.
Every once in a while, you sound a little juvenile.
Oh my God. Or we're two dumb twats. Still want that on a t-shirt. So, all right, moving forward. Okay, when we left off, Bryce had entered his sophomore year at Sierra College, which is a community college that was a 6 to 7 hour drive from his parents' home in Laguna Niguel, California. I know that last week we did tease this timeline a little bit, but after that point, but I'm going to start this week's details right there. So we're going to backtrack just a tiny bit.
Okay.
Because I didn't give you all the details.
Oh.
Now, in August of 2013, Bryce moved back to Rocklin, California, to that area where the college was. But at this time, he's living in an off-campus apartment with his friend, Sean. We talked about how he couldn't live in the dorms anymore. So we've been told in a roundabout way. Bryce's parents were aware of this plan. They knew he was living off campus. They knew he was living with Sean. They helped him get set up at his new place. They met the roommate. Everybody is familiar. It's all copacetic.
Okay.
Bryce's parents also at this time knew his girlfriend, Kim, who had graduated from Sierra the previous spring and was now attending Chico State. This is 90 minutes away from Sierra. There are photos of Kim and Bryce where she's in a cap and gown and holding a diploma from Sierra College. I don't think it was a 4-year degree because she immediately transfers to another school. So I guess it could be an associate's. Is that how that works? Do you get a graduation for that?
I guess.
I didn't look that up. Maybe I should have. I don't know. Anyway.
Well, how old is she?
She's a little bit older than him. I don't have an exact age on her. But I don't think she's 4 whole years older than him. I think.
Right.
And I also don't think she's in grad school because she goes on to Chico and all the information of her at Chico is Greek life, sorority stuff. Me and my, it doesn't look like a grad school situation.
I gotcha. Okay.
So.
Yeah, so she must have just finished an associate.
I figure you can probably do that. I don't really know. Anyway, at this point, Kim lives an hour and a half-ish away from Bryce's new apartment in Chico. So you should know that she also lives north of Bryce and his parents live south. So when he goes to Kim's apartment later, he is farther away from home.
Okay.
Just log that in your brain. But Bryce had a car, and I don't know if Kim did too or not, but he did. So they'd be able to see each other whenever they wanted. It wasn't like they were stuck at college and had to take buses and stuff. Now, the school year kicked off in mid-August, and Bryce's behavior seemed off to his friends and to Kim. He had always been a party guy, as we discussed last week, but recently he had been really amping up his substance use. Bryce also drank a lot, and some reports from friends say that this was not limited to just parties or social events. Like,
Okay.
he was just drinking
during the week.
Yeah, exactly. Like
Okay.
in his room or like hanging out, like he just was drinking.
Okay.
Which is, sometimes not great. He also had begun to take recreational Vyvanse, which we discussed Vyvanse at length last week. And it is a stimulant medication prescribed for ADHD and also binge eating so that he could stay awake all night and play Xbox games online. So he was using it to stay up late. This is a change, like the drinking and the Vyvanse, but his demeanor also changed. It wasn't just behavior, it was also like how he was. Bryce seemed suddenly kind of hopeless and angry. He argued with Kim, whereas he really didn't do that much before. And he started saying kind of weird and concerning things to his friends. And he never slept.
Yeah.
Sleep is a big deal. We don't give it enough credit. As somebody who doesn't really sleep well, it affects every single thing in your life. If you don't think it changes your mood or how you see the world, you are wrong. Sleep's a big deal. Here's the other thing about Vyvanse. As we discussed last week, it has a very tough crash, but it can also cause disturbing thoughts and suicidal ideation, not even just in the crash. Some people just get that from it. It just happens. It's kind of all stimulants, But that's why if you are prescribed Vyvanse from a physician, you have to check in with your doctor a lot.
Yeah.
In some states, you have to see a doctor in person before every refill. In New Jersey, as of right now, I think it's every 3 months, but it does change a lot. And you have to check in and do a whole series of interview questions with your doctor and like a nurse practitioner or something. And they ask you every single time, are you depressed? Are you more angry than usual? Are you thinking of suicide?
Right.
So you are conditioned to notice that if you are doing this with a doctor. People who take stimulants as directed under a physician's care are aware of everything. But if you don't really know this could happen.
Right.
Here's the other things you should know about stimulants. There are a lot of other mental atypicalities that don't react well with stimulants. I think we've talked about some of these sort of things before in the past. I'm not sure if it was specifically stimulants. But if you have like bipolar disorder, schizophrenia, severe anxiety, or some forms of OCD, stimulants can be your worst fucking nightmare. They can trigger mania in bipolar people. They can trigger psychosis in bipolar or schizophrenic people. They can make you extremely paranoid. They can amp up your OCD so that you can't get out of the obsessive loop because you can hyperfocus and just stay in that lane. As I mentioned last week, sometimes like you don't get to choose what you hyperfocus on.
Right.
If it's an obsessive behavior, you're fucking cooked. You're just going to be stuck in it forever. Not ever, but you know what I mean? A longer time than usual. So if you're taking this medication without a prescription and you have a previously undiagnosed issue, it can really blow up in your face.
Right.
Lastly, stimulants also delay the depressant effects of alcohol. If you don't have to take them, you don't really realize this, but if you are drinking while you're on a stimulant, it's a lot tougher to get drunk. Like you don't really recognize the effects of alcohol. But when the stimulant wears off, it will hit you like a fucking freight train. So you may get very like altered all at once, or you might just get very sick out of nowhere. Like it's hard to say. Your hangover might hit you like a fucking train.
Right.
But it is a very dangerous game to play if you're uppers and downersing your life. And by all accounts, that's what's going on with Bryce. He's drinking a lot, but he's also taking stimulants, which is like, I can't tell I'm drinking, but you know what I mean? Like it could be a very awful cycle. So on August 27th, Bryce's behavior seems to reach a level of concern that his friends are no longer comfortable with keeping it to themselves. You know, like at that age, you're like, well, I got to protect my friend and not tell on them. But there's that line where when they cross it, you're like, fucking telling on you isn't the least of my worries now. So.
Which means he's gotten really far.
Exactly.
At that age.
To tell on your like 19-year-old friend.
Oh, yeah.
Or to even consider it. So here's what Bryce had done. He had texted Kim, his girlfriend, and told her he was breaking up with her out of nowhere because she was better off without him. This breakup is totally inexplicable to Kim. She's like, what the fuck are you talking about? She doesn't even believe it. He also texts Sean on this day, his roommate, and says, quote, "I love you, bro. Seriously. You are the best person I've ever met. You saved my soul." And then Sean responds with, quote, "I love you too, man. You have an amazing life, full of love and blessings. Don't waste that. You have too many people who love you, Bryce."
Oh,
That's cryptic, man. That doesn't sound good. After this conversation, Bryce gives Sean his Xbox and a pair of diamond earrings his parents has given to him. This sounds a lot like he's signing off of this life.
yeah.
And Sean picks up on that. So he did the version of calling the damn cops you do when you're a kid with no legal issues. He does call Bryce's mom.
Mm-hmm.
Like we just said, like to tattle on your 19-year-old friend to their mom, you have to really be like worrying people. Now, in some reports, this phone call happened on the 27th. In others, it's the 28th. Fortunately, this detail is inconsequential. So Sean calls Karen and he says Bryce is not acting right and he's very worried. Karen is like kind of worried, but she's not too worried. She's like, okay, I'll talk to him, I guess. So she checks in with Bryce. This phone call, again, either happens on the evening of the 27th or in the afternoon of the 28th. Just for consistency's sake, we're going to go with this happening at 1 p.m. on the 28th.
Okay.
Cool. Karen calls Bryce. He reports, she's like, he sounded fine. He sounded totally normal. We had a normal conversation. He told her he was driving up to Chico that night to break up with Kim. Karen was surprised because she's like, but you've never said anything bad about Kim. You've been happy and in love until this point. Why are you suddenly breaking up with her? He doesn't really have a lot of explanation to give, but also he's 19 and relationships don't last forever.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think a lot of people are like, well, you're going to marry that girl, clearly. It's like, come on, maybe, maybe not. So that night after this conversation, Bryce packs a small bag and tells Sean that he's going to go up to Chico and break up with Kim and that he will be back after like Labor Day weekend or whatever. So he arrives at Kim's apartment in Chico at around 10 p.m. on the 28th that night. Now, according to Kim, Bryce was acting real weird. He was very erratic. He seemed like messed up in some way. She doesn't say necessarily he seemed drunk, but she's like, he wasn't in his right mind. Like this wasn't him. She asked him what he's done. He admits to, quote, taking one pill, which I assume is Vyvanse. Then they argue and he tries to break up with her, but Kim is like really not concerned about the breakup. She's concerned that he's acting like something is going on. So she takes his keys and his phone and calls his mother. This is call number 2 to his mom from his like friends.
Right.
If that were me, I'd be like, holy shit, my kid, I need to like do something right now. She gets Karen on the phone. She says, I don't think Bryce should be driving right now. So I took his keys. He's acting really weird. He's not in his right mind. I don't think he should be behind the wheel. Karen's like, okay, well, let me talk to Bryce. So she talks to Bryce. Bryce to her seems, she says, normal. Bryce tells her that like Kim and her friend won't give him back his keys and he just wants his keys back so that he can leave. Karen asks him to give Kim back the phone and she's like, okay, give him back his keys. Let him go.
Oof.
I can't judge.
Yeah.
Because they have a whole history that we are not part of. And Karen has always been quoted as saying that Bryce and her were very close and she believed him to have always told her the truth. Some people are like, oh, I don't know if I would have said.
Well, I also think that in hindsight, it's
sure,
one of those.
Of course
in
it is.
Hindsight,
Plus, this is like the girlfriend he's breaking up with. And maybe he was like, she's crazy. I just want to go. Like, we don't really know.
Right. Because if he had just made it home, this would be a different feeling of the mom saying
absolutely.
That, you know what I mean? So,
yeah. But
yeah.
She says, give Bryce back his keys. And Kim goes, okay, I told your mom. That's about all I can do.
Yeah.
So Bryce gets the keys back. He takes his phone with him. And he's back on the phone with his mom at this point.
Here's my other thing. How much did they say, like, for us to not judge the mother in this particular moment? Yes, the friends are calling the mom now and being like, I'm kind of concerned for his like mental health. But are they just like, here's how he's been for several years and leading up to this moment. He's been drunk every day of the week. He's taking Vyvanse. He's doing all like, does she know this context at this moment is what, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, no, I totally know what you mean. It's kind of unclear.
Yeah.
They say that they tell her like he's partying more. He's not acting right. He's saying things that concern me. He's staying up all night playing video games. He's I don't know if they exactly said here are the exact like drugs he's taking.
Because is it more like he's having strong feelings versus like he is clear, like he's clearly under the influence at this moment, and it is unsafe for him to be driving for other people on the road as well.
Right.
Like that, it feels like different where it's just like he's just kind of in his head versus like.
Yeah. And also, as I have said at length, if you know anything about stimulants, just being on stimulants does not make it so that you can't drive. You're actually a better driver because no matter where you are in life, you're paying more attention to the shit on the road. That's not what's going to make you so altered. It's the possible lack of sleep. It's the possible crash. It's the possible combination. And I don't think she knows that at all.
Right.
And she's talking to him and he sounds to her like her son being normal.
Right. But then if she was like given a layer of all of the things.
I know.
I feel like that would have been different.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I don't know either, but that is a very good point. She does, when she gets back on the phone with Bryce, like after he's like, I'm walking out now. I have my keys. They have a little conversation at that point. And Karen, the mom, says like, listen, why don't you let me fly out to see you? And we'll just kind of like work it out, whatever is going on. Because remember, this is 6 to 7 hour drive they are like, we can just fly. And Bryce says, no, don't do that for right now. Just stay where you are. But I do, quote, have a lot to talk to you about. So we'll get together soon or we'll talk soon. And I definitely need to talk to you about a lot of things. We never find out those things.
I know. Well, yeah.
Karen then says, okay, all right, go back home, go get some sleep. Just everything will probably be different in the morning. We'll talk later. Bryce is like, okay, bye. Then Karen gets a phone call from Bryce at approximately 1 a.m. I don't think they talk. I think this is a missed call. It just is stated in all of the information as Karen got a phone call from Bryce at approximately 1 a.m. I think she sees it in the morning when she wakes up. Because she really did just assume like, she's like, he must have been like, I'm home and just like checking in to say he had gotten home. But that's not what he did. The next news Karen gets about the situation at all comes at 11 a.m. the next morning, which is the 29th, when she and her husband get a notification. This just says notification. In some instances, it's like a phone call, but it also could be an email. And you'll understand what I mean in a second. They get notified from their insurance company. In this day and age, it would be a text, that a service request had been completed. I don't know if in 2013 they were sending texts like that, but now it would just be an automated text that was like, we got your service request. It has been completed. And they were like, I'm sorry, what? It's their car insurance, by the way. We haven't left the house. We've been home asleep this whole time. What do you mean? Like a service request has been completed. So she's like, okay, well, Bryce's car is on their insurance, obviously, and he has their roadside assistance. So it must be him. They call, he doesn't answer. Call a couple times, no answer from Bryce. So Karen calls Sean, the roommate who had called her before. And Sean says, Bryce never came home last night. I don't know what you're talking about. At this point, I'd be like, man, I wish I let him keep the keys.
Yeah.
Hindsight, 100% correct.
Yeah.
And this is alarming. But clearly, this is also a record that he is driving around. Like he's doing something. They got a service request. Something happened to the car. It doesn't appear that like he didn't come back because he's like injured or something. He's not dead. It's just, where is he, right?
Right.
Now, since Bryce also, as we mentioned last week, got his money from a debit card that was connected to his parents' account because they were funding his existence, they were easily able to track his transactions. It's just their bank. So they see that there is one at 9 a.m. at a service station in Buttonwillow, California, which would align with what their insurance company told them. Buttonwillow is a town that is an unincorporated town, like a little nothing, far, far away town that is 4 hours away from Bryce's apartment, 5 hours away from Kim's apartment, and like 3.5 to 4 hours away from his parents' home. What on earth is he doing there?
Right.
So Mike, his dad, finds the number for the service station. He's like, well, I'm going to make sure it was Bryce. Like, let's find out what happened. Now, if you're like me at this point, you're also wondering a lot of things, but chiefly like, what is in Buttonwillow? What's that? The short answer is nothing is in Buttonwillow. The long answer is there is a northbound and southbound rest area. It's kind of like trucks go there to pull off the road and sleep for the night. There are cotton fields, like 5 taco restaurants, a lot of tacos, and a giant ancient button willow tree. The town was named after the tree, and the tree is hundreds of years old, and it's still there.
Nice.
Yeah, it's not a young town, basically. Something that you could see from like a distance, so the button willow was a landmark anyway. Chances are if you find yourself in Button Willow, and you won't, but if you do, and you're not stopping for gas or tacos, then you're there to see the big tree.
Right.
There is a sign. Some people want to see the big tree. Great. I love a tree. But I cannot stress this enough. If you don't know someone in Button Willow, there is just like no reason to be there at all. There's not like a fun club or a good restaurant or a downtown or anyone he knew.
And then this isn't like the path you would take to go home, right?
I guess it does exist along that path.
Okay.
But there's no reason to divert there and like hang out for a while.
Right. Unless he was like stopping at the gas station, like you said.
Exactly. And we'll get to that in a minute. And sorry, locals of Button Willow. I'm sure it's great to live there. Your town
Sounds
does.
adorable.
Exactly. Your town has the cutest name I've ever heard.
Yeah. I bet they have like little festivals around the Button Willow.
Around the tree.
Yeah.
Precious. I want to name a puppy Button Willow.
Oh.
So cute.
And they have like I don't know, like a Miss Button Willow, like a little teen Button Willow.
There's like a strawberry festival by the tree. Yeah. I mean, I want to give it that vibe, but it's even more remote than that.
No.
Like there's no like town center. It's just very rural and spread out. And like, I really and truly mean this. Like, I don't know what you would be doing in this town. The other thing this teensy little town has is that service station, obviously, where he called. And the greatest Samaritan that ever was, one of its employees, whose name is Christian.
Okay, not Frenchie.
No, sorry. No, but remember Christian. It's pretty great. Mike finds the number for the service station and he calls there and gets Christian on the phone. And he explains the whole strange ordeal. He's like, listen, I got a report that there was service to my car. It's actually my son, but this is all under my name. So you can tell me, did you go see him? What happened? What did he need? Please, I haven't talked to him. And fortunately, Christian, as I mentioned, is like amazing. So he's like, oh my God, yes. I brought him gas. He ran out of gas at the rest station in Button Willow. So I brought him out 3 gallons. I put it in his car. Yes, like you described him. That's who it is. He seemed totally fine. He was able to talk to me. But like, I agree, your story, that's concerning as a parent. Do you want me to go out and check on him? Do you want me to see if he's still there? This man does not have to do any of these things. He's like, I'll get in my car and drive around and see if I can find him for you. And Mike's like, okay.
Yeah.
I guess. I mean, I'm not there and you are, so that would be great. May Christian's coffee always be hot and his pillow always be cold.
Yes.
He might be the nicest man in the world. And you know what? I know another Christian who also might be the nicest man in the world, so maybe it's the name.
There you go.
I digress.
They're living by their name, Holly.
This day and age, I don't know that. Now, so Christian goes, I'm going to go look for him. I'm going back out to the service station. He gets in his car and he drives out there. And to everyone's surprise, Bryce has not moved at all. He is still in his parked car at the rest stop. Christian finds his car. He's like, okay. He walks over, knocks on the window. Bryce is just sitting in his car. He's not doing anything. And he's like, hey, man, what are you doing? He's like, oh, you know what? I drove all night, so I was just getting a little sleep in the rest area. You know, after this guy brought him emergency gas, he just went to sleep.
Yeah.
You don't get your emergency gas, your 3 gallons of gas that starting the car uses more of than driving, and then go to sleep. That's like a really weird thing to do.
Unless you're like crashing at that point.
Exactly. Unless you absolutely realize you cannot drive.
Yeah.
So Christian's like, okay, whatever, man. I get it. You could be tired, but you should know that your parents are really worried and they're trying to find you. So you have to call them. And he's like, Bryce says, okay, I will call them. I promise. And Christian's like, okay, man, you stay safe. He leaves. He calls Karen and Mike and he's like, he's still there, dude. I just talked to him. He seems fine. He said he had to get a little sleep. He's going to call you. And they're like, okay. And to his credit, Bryce does call Karen at this point. He calls his mom's cell phone. And Karen's like, what is going on?
Yeah.
Why are you like sitting at a rest stop in Buttonwillow for the past 5 hours at this point? What is happening? And Bryce is like, I'm fine. I just was driving around to blow off steam. I was just like going for drives. Then I rested. Then I was just kind of hanging out.
Oh.
To me, that is a wild thing to say.
That's still, okay. That to me sounds like a sleep-deprived person coming down from lots of things.
I absolutely agree with you.
That sounds like a statement that's very just like, I'm fine. I'm just doing this thing. And
so knowing what we know, we're like, that could be responsible. He could be like fucked up on this stuff and he just wants to sleep.
Responsible, but also like still not there is what I mean.
Okay,
like, he's still not mentally there because it sounds weird.
It does.
Like,
it does sound
no
weird.
matter what, it's still weird. But to them, that still sounds like that makes sense, doesn't it? That makes sense. I just was just driving around and this is where I ended up. And you're like,
he's being very vague and evasive with why he's doing what he's doing. He's just like, I'm just hanging out. I'm just here. I'm just like, just like decompressing. I'm just like going for a drive to clear my mind. A really fucking long drive. But Karen, I think that her train of thought at this point is like, okay, we just got to get him to our house at this point. Just get him home. We'll figure it out. So she's like, listen, you're 3 hours from our house at this point in time. Just come home. And he's like, yeah, that's what I was going to do. I was going to come home. She goes, go to the service station, fill your gas tank, come home. And Bryce is like, good plan. At this point, it's noon, as I mentioned. And so Karen's like, okay, I'm going to see you here at 3:00. Because right now you're about 3 hours away. And he's like, yep, 3:00. See ya. 3:00, of course, comes and goes. By 3:30, Karen's like, okay, I'm going to call him. So she calls Bryce again. He does not answer. She figures he may be stuck in traffic or, it's Labor Day weekend coming up and they live around Los Angeles. Like, who knows? Or maybe he stopped to get something to eat. He's like just chilling and eating a meal or something. Half an hour here or there, it happens. He'll be home soon. 4:00 comes and then goes. 4:30, then 5:00. Still no word from Bryce. Karen and Mike have been calling him nonstop. Like they're just calling his phone and he is not answering. They're like, you're in your car. It is ringing. You are hearing this phone. What is going on? Now they are worried. At 6:00, when they still have not heard anything from Bryce, they decide to call the damn cops, the real cops. So Karen and Mike Laspisa report Bryce missing to the Orange County Sheriff's Office. And I have to give this police department a lot of credit because they do not say, oh, he must have just run away, or, oh, he's an adult. He's 19, which means he's allowed to disappear if he wants to. We can't track him. Call me later. No. The police are like, that's fucking weird. Okay, let's go. They put him on the missing persons list and they get to work. Now, I described a lot of Bryce's life last week, but I didn't tell you a whole lot about his appearance. I said some stuff here and there, but I think this is a very interesting piece of this puzzle because Bryce was kind of hard to miss. Bryce was 5'11" with fair, freckled skin. He had a pretty athletic build, talks about going to the gym a lot, and that was true. And he also had bright red hair and light blue eyes. I don't mean just like auburn hair or even like Ron Weasley hair. Bryce is a true ginger.
Mm-hmm.
You could even stretch his coloring into what some might call strawberry blonde. It's like a light copper. Even his eyebrows are like light copper colored. Now, you might be thinking, well, that's like kind of a noticeable trait, but redheads are around. I know redheads. It's not like they're unicorns, but they kind of are. Did you know that redheads only make up 1% of the global population?
Wow.
That's crazy, right? They're 2 to 6% of the United States population, so we have a slightly heavier concentration of gingers than other countries, but that's still kind of uncommon.
Yeah, no, I agree with you because my best friend is a true ginger.
Yeah.
And I feel
it's a
like
rarity.
It was, I'm just thinking about when I met him and where I worked, and it was on like a very popular mall strip. And like, that was his distinguishing factor.
Sure.
That's like how you knew like that's him.
Yep.
And
absolutely.
anyone that passed by after that, I was like, oh, is that Justin?
Yeah. And 100%
So, yeah,
right.
but yeah, you're
It
right.
is very
you're right. 'Cause
uncommon.
There's redheads, but then there's
Like
a
real
true
honest to God
ginger.
redheads.
Beautiful, beautiful. I love
Yes,
ginger.
lovely features.
I love
and
them.
and unicorn features. Beautiful.
know.
But like you would recognize that in a crowd.
Yeah.
If you're looking at 100 people, you're going to pick that one out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like that person needs sunscreen stat.
100%. 100%. Like so much. Maybe a hat.
Maybe a hat.
You need something, buddy.
They need sleeves on now.
If they're not sleeping, their under eyes are purple.
Yeah.
We know. Now, add to this the fact that Bryce also has both ears pierced, which is not super unusual, but it's something to note, and a tattoo of a Taurus bullhead and, quote, some Roman numerals on his left shoulder. Here's the thing. Everyone underestimates that tattoo. It is huge.
It's large. It's almost like a half sleeve.
It is. It's so big. Every written description of it is like, tattoo on left shoulder, bullhead, Roman numerals. Okay. It's so casual, but it's not like a little zodiac thing. As you said, it takes up his entire shoulder and upper arm. It's the Taurus symbol, not a bullhead. It's the Taurus
that's
symbol.
weird that they say it that way.
Isn't it weird?
Yeah.
And it also has like a lot of like wispy smoke detailing around it. And the Roman numerals are IV, which is the number 4, and XXX, which is the number 30. And they're on the top of the Taurus symbol. And then underneath it are the Roman numerals MCMXCIV, which translates to 1,994. And I really and truly hate that all descriptions of him leave this distinction out because they're not just some Roman numerals. That is his birthday! 4/30/1994. That's like having your made by date like branded on your arm. That is an incredible identifier.
Yes.
That's like having your own name on your face or something. Like, come on.
A barcode.
It is exactly like a barcode. It's not some Roman numerals and a little thing. It is his fucking birthday. It makes me really mad. It's also pretty funny to have your own birthday tattooed in huge Roman numerals on your arm.
Yeah.
Remember, though, Bryce is only 19 when he goes missing. And you got to be 18 to get a tattoo in the United States. Not always. Sometimes you could get away with it.
Like a parent signature.
His parents are not signing off on this giant tattoo. Not all tattoo decisions at that age are like great ones. You're not always like doing great.
I know, because it's funny to get like your own birthday on.
I don't know anyone that has their own birthday on their body. But at that age, you're like, fuck yeah, Taurus. This is my birthday. Represent it. And we read Bryce's Facebook last week.
It tracks for sure.
April Taurus.
It tracks.
What's up?
Yeah, I got my birthday.
Yeah, this is me. Identifying who I am. That's right. To me now,
I love it.
I know it's funny, but you know what? Kids don't always think about tattoos when they get them at that age. Leslie, do you know of anything that like a youth might permanently put on their body that they might rethink later in life? Do you have anything?
Oh my God, so many
about that. There are some like common ones.
Yeah. Okay. So some of these are like the most regretful tattoos that even like tattoo artists will talk about. Are any of them your zodiac
sign or your own birthday?
Yes.
Okay.
For sure.
Okay.
And a lot of them are Roman numerals too.
Oh, really?
Like a lot of them are, in this tracks because a lot of them will be connected to like a date or a number for like your partner, right? A relationship.
God. Or just something that's meaningful now but won't be later.
Exactly. Even like best friends, things like that. The infinity symbol.
Oh, God.
Remember how big that was?
And the semicolon, yep.
Yeah. The mustache on your finger, that was big for us like millennials. That so fits some people, but it's like there's so many people I think have that are like, I'm not that quirky little 22-year-old.
No. Why did I do that?
I can't ride a bike. I have new knees now.
You'll never get up.
White ink tattoos. Remember that?
Oh my God, yes. So you can't see them really.
And now they look like scars on people. Like you can't read them and they just kind of like aged into like weird scar lines.
Bad call, guys.
The sideways feather turning into birds that like,
oh yeah,
felt like this was deep, but you're like, but why?
So here's a funny thing about that. So I'm going to show you because you're here. I have a tattoo on my wrist that looks like maybe I could have done that.
Yeah.
But it is a quill pen because I'm a writer.
Yeah.
So it's still I was in my 30s when I got it.
Yeah.
But if you look at it, sometimes people are like, what's that little feather? Did you get a feather? I'm like, no. It's a pen. It's a quill. That's what it is.
Yeah.
So absolutely, that's the thing. We're like, look at your cute little feather tattoo.
Right.
Shut up.
Right.
That's what Alexander Hamilton wrote with, bitches.
Oh, I love this one. Remember, it was like big to get a quote in another language, but then like a lot of people weren't verifying them.
Oh, my husband has Chinese characters on his arm.
Yeah,
we don't know that they mean anything.
Just Chinese characters is another one that a lot of people. The YOLO tattoo. # YOLO.
Ew, people got that?
Winning. I know several people.
That have that tattoo?
Yeah.
No, they probably don't love it today.
Unfortunately, a lot of people regret their Harry Potter tattoos now.
Yeah, that's a complicated
You're just gonna have to live with that. The tiny wrist birds and like little tiny hearts.
Oh my God, I also have a bird on my wrist, but it's Flapjack from the Owl House because my kids watched it.
Put a bird on it. It makes everything.
Put a bird on it. Oh, no, what's funny is mine, if you don't know the Owl House, you don't know who Flapjack is. Mine is, it's obviously from a cartoon, but it's a cardinal.
Yeah.
So a couple times I've had people be like, you a Cardinals fan? I'm like, no. No.
Oh my God.
It doesn't even look like that. Okay.
Barcode tattoos.
Oh, can you scan them? Do they work?
You cost approximately.
Can you go to Target and scan it or something?
That would be hilarious.
That would be so good. Okay.
You can get it for like your favorite treat. That would be funny.
Now you could get a QR code and it would work.
Yes.
Just saying.
I'm like, oh, that is like great branding.
I know. Get all your information on a QR code. So if anything happens to you, you could just scan it.
If Instagram influencers aren't
that.
doing that.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah, but you should listen to our podcast and then whip out your your wrist.
I know.
Scan here.
Just saying, you guys, get your QR code.
But then like as it like stretches or deforms a little, it starts sending you to someone else's page.
That's not me.
That's not me. Coordinates of somewhere you barely
I remember that. Like latitude and longitude of places.
Yeah,
Cape May was a popular one for that because it's like a vacation destination.
Yeah, that makes sense. But I know some people were like, I went to Bermuda once.
I need it on my body.
Yeah, and now it's or like I went to like Paris and now it's my whole identity.
Oh my God.
That happened to me for a couple months.
Yeah, but not for like ever.
No. What is this? Chest script in cursive. You wanted to look poetic. Now it looks like your torso signed itself. Chest script.
Or like on your rib cage or something?
Or on your chest or rib cage or something. The
little like script words. Yeah. A lot of like cute little clean girls had that on their wrist.
An owl tattoo. A lot of bird tattoos, people. And then zodiac constellation tattoos.
I have that one too. Except for mine is like, you can't really tell that's what it is. It's the little stars are around something else.
Tribal is a big one. A lot of people regret tribal tattoos.
Yeah, they were very regrettable.
Yeah, there's a lot. But those are some of them. Anchor tattoos. Remember those? And then like Looney Tunes.
Oh my God.
Not on this
the
list,
Tasmanian
but those
devil
are the
tattoos.
ones I have to imagine are like
Tweety Bird or something.
Yeah. Or just well, actually, no, I take that back because I feel like that's a certain age group. And if you like it, you like it. You know, like I feel like the people that got the...
There are a lot of people that regret their like
colorful
Looney Tunes.
Okay, good. They should. But anyway, they should for sure. Because they look all weird now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I know like I also feel like it's the placements of the tattoos. Like, you know, when you're 18 and you get like the lower back tattoo or something on like your chest that's really noticeable. As a lot of my friends have like ones that they were just real confident about and are just like, now I wish I didn't get that.
I wish I didn't get that
or just that
tattoo.
Stupid like flower that means nothing.
Sure, yeah.
Sometimes they do, but
sometimes they do.
Sometimes they do. But I know very few people that have gotten something at like 16, 17, 18, 19 and are like truly happy with it. Like they've all had to end up going back and they get something with it. They get it fixed up.
I know a lot of people that have gotten them either removed or like covered over or something.
And a few people that have gotten their own like a number that meant something just to like that was a personal thing to them, like a birthday that was their birthday. I mean, and then they're like, "Why did I do that?"
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You're like, I will remember that. It's my birthday. I don't know why Well, they let anybody do anything when they turn 18.
Yeah. A lot of people regret like getting a cross on them. Or just
your
ones.
ideation changes, that kind of stuff. That's big too.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. There you go.
Think about your tattoos. Or when you get one, don't place too much meaning on it. It either has to have a lot of meaning or not too much. Because then you can just be like, I just like it. It's fine.
Like I have some friends that that's their thing. Like that goes with their style forever.
That's fine.
And they're just like, I enjoy this as an art form.
Yeah.
And that is, so they just get things and it's like their story through life. Like, oh, this meant something at this point.
Yeah. Like I have 5 of them. They all are something that I enjoy like looking back on or like mean something to me, or I just like the way they look, whatever. Like, you know, one of them
it has like
Salem.
a fun story to it. Like it was more about like what I did that day versus like what this is or something.
Yeah. We're not like shitting on tattoos. I love a tattoo.
Yeah. I don't have any, but I like them.
I have more coming in my life. I like them. They're fun. But like when you're 18, you don't always decide something that is like...
I feel like it's one of those frontal lobe things.
It definitely is. And then the rest of your life, you're like, well, that's me.
Yeah. Yeah. And if you don't have the money to get it changed...
that is just you now.
That's just you now.
Yeah. Well, I say all of this, and that was a fun like diversion for us to talk about. But I say all this just to say like, this is an identifiable person.
Mm-hmm.
I think about that a lot. I'm like, he would not be hard to pick out if someone found him.
Yeah.
So anyway, the police, remember, because he's reported as the missing person now, they take all of Bryce's information from his parents, which would include that same description and what he was wearing and all of his things, his car, and they get to work right away. Now, luckily, Bryce's cell phone is still on Mike and Karen's account as well. Like the fact that he still relied so heavily on his parents played in like was to their advantage at this point in time, because like they had access to everything, you know?
Yes.
So there are some accounts that are like, oh, this was like a miracle. The sheriff within a few hours got permission from AT&T and like pinged the phone. I don't think it was a miracle. I think it was the fact that his parents controlled his phone.
Sure, yeah. I mean, this is why I tell my parents, like, I need to stay on your phone plan. Because if I ever go missing,
then they could find you.
Just find me. It's like
they could
really
ping your phone right away
to them. I only do this for them.
And honestly, it works in some people's favor. But we did see this in like the Delphi case too, where it took them way longer than they wanted to be able to ping those little girls' phones, and they were on their parents.
That's true. Yeah.
So it's not always, but I guess in California, we're in New Jersey. Okay. We're not in Indiana. And this is California, so maybe our laws are similar. Whatever. So they get to AT&T, they ping the phone, and they're like, "Okay, we have a location. It is 8 miles away from the rest area."
No,
he is still in Buttonwillow. He has not left this town full of nothing.
I mean, maybe the tree is that good,
and he's not at the tree. I'm so mad. He's parked on the side of the road, a road that's like a rural country road, like.
It's always actual, a rural country
I know
road.
It is. It really is. Like literal cotton fields are what is around him.
The minute you said cotton fields, I was like, that's where that boy is.
No, we know that it's not. Okay. But anyway. And at this point, it is 8 p.m. I will remind you that he got gas in Buttonwillow from Christian at 9 a.m. It is now 8 p.m. He has moved 8 miles. And
Did he ever fill up again? Did he ever do that? Do we know?
No, he didn't. No, I know he didn't.
Okay.
Because he does later, but there's no transaction where he did it.
More.
Oh, there's more, yes.
Oh my goodness.
But now we know he's been in Buttonwillow for the entire day.
Okay.
He didn't go to the big tree. So what the fuck is he doing there?
Sure.
Right? So a cop goes, okay, we found him. And he drives out in a cruiser to Bryce's car. And he's not hard to find. There's his car parked in the shoulder of the road right there. And he is sitting in his car. Now, this information is not available anywhere, but what I want to know is like, what was he doing when you rolled up to his window?
Right.
He's talking. Was he sleeping? Was he just staring off into the abyss? Was he scrolling on an iPhone? Like, what is he doing? They just say he's there. And so the police walk over. They knock on the window. He's sitting in his car. The cops are like, hey, man, what the fuck? He's like, hey, officers, I'm just doing whatever. They give him a sobriety test, no alcohol. It's a breathalyzer so that he has no alcohol. He wouldn't at this point unless he had it in his car. Test totally negative. They give him like field sobriety tests, which is just like your cognitive ability, and he passes all of them. That's kind of like you got to walk the line, recite the alphabet, touch your nose, that kind of thing. He's able to do all of those things. I will remind you that stimulants won't make it so you can't. They ask Bryce if they can search his car. He says, absolutely. He does not defy them at all. He's totally compliant with police. So they do. They tear his car apart. They unpack his bag. They take everything out of his trunk. They look in all of the glove box and stuff. They don't find any drugs, alcohol, weapons, or anything else that would be illegal or of note. Just a kid in his car with an overnight bag. That's it. Bryce is friendly, polite, and cooperative. He is also reported to be alert and aware. The cops ask him what he's doing. And he's like, I'm just driving around, just hanging out, kind of clearing my mind, blowing off a little steam. Which is annoying as hell if you're his parents, but it's not illegal. He doesn't have a curfew. He's 19. He's just driving. You're allowed to drive.
Yeah.
The officer says, okay, I'm not going to like, you've done nothing wrong, but what you do have to do is call your parents. Because right now you're on the missing persons list. And he's like, I don't really. And the cop's like, no, give me your phone. Cop takes his phone, dials his parents' number, and like hands him the phone. He's like, talk to your parents. And stands there and watches him have a conversation with his parents. He tells his parents that he's like, yeah, I just talked to the cops. They ask him what he's doing. He's like, I'm putting my stuff back together in my car because it was taken out. Everything was taken out of my car and dumped. I'm putting everything back together. Then it sounds like Karen has asked him, like, why are you in Buttonwillow and what are you doing? That is a question he will not answer. He's just like, whatever. Like, I'm just hanging out. I'm just doing this. Karen's like, okay, fine. Get your stuff together. Get something to eat because it's been like a long ass time and we see that there's no transactions. And then come home. It's dark at this point. Way too much time has elapsed for the situation to be casual. Karen's like, I just get him home and then we'll figure it out later. Once this call is complete, the cops are like, okay, I'm going to take you off the missing persons list. I have done my job. And to their credit, they did do their job.
Right.
Move along. Bye-bye. Does he move along? Does he come home? No. Do they hear from him for the next few hours? No. But like shortly after this encounter happens, so we get to about 10 o'clock at night, right? That was 8 o'clock. This is 10 o'clock at night. Karen gets a follow-up call from Christian, that sweet sainted boy from the auto repair shop. He's like, hey, just wanted to know if your son made it home safe. Is everything okay? Best person alive, right? Best person alive. Karen's like, about that, no. We don't know what happened. Christian's like, do you want me to drive out there again? Where did they say he was? They said he was on the side of this highway and in Buttonwillow. Yeah, I'll go out to the rest area, then I'll circle out to where the police said he was, and I'll see if his car's still there. 10 o'clock at night, this man does not know these people. He offers to do this.
Yeah.
Why hasn't someone given him the keys to the city? And Karen and Mike are like, you don't have to do that. We just talked to you. It's fine. He's like, no, I need to do that for me now.
Right.
And they're like, okay, I guess. Go ahead. Now, at this point, there are a lot of people, and you and I might be the same, who are wondering, why haven't his parents driven up?
I was literally thinking this.
My ass would have been in the car so fast.
I feel like I would have.
I can't.
I feel like yes. Okay.
I would say after
a lot of thoughts about
the first time I spoke to my child, they said they were coming home. They didn't. And then the police are like, well, I found his location. I'd be like, keep him. Put him in your car. I am coming to get him. Mm-hmm. Very clearly, this person is not coming home. Something is going on. I am on the way. I need to go there and put him in my car.
Mm-hmm.
I am not judging them for not doing that because they talked to the police. They talked to him. They just believed him. They just believed that he was coming home. That's all.
Yeah.
Were it me, my paranoid mind would need to be there to receive my child. And here's a little tip in case anything like this ever happens to any of you out there in our listenership. If you are put in this position and you don't know how to get your child and they are just in the wind in the world, say they stole your car.
I was going to ask, is there something that they could
report your car as stolen?
Okay.
Because technically, they own and insure that car.
Right.
And he is driving it.
Okay.
But they could say, he stole our car.
Right.
And then the cops would have to take him in. And they might have to end up paying some legal fees, but he would be held until they came to get him.
Yeah.
That is a very harsh thing to do. And you also might have to see your kids sit in jail. You'll have to drop the charges. They might be there overnight. There might be processing that has to happen. But
they would be held.
They would be held.
In this space,
they would have taken him out of that car and brought him in to the local police station and kept him there. At least for 3 hours, long enough for you to drive there.
Exactly. I'm so glad you said that because that was literally a question that I had written down. I was like, what could they have said to keep them?
You can also say that your debit card has been stolen.
Yeah.
If his card was on their bank account and these are transactions that they have not authorized, I'm not 100% sure because maybe the card is in his name. I don't know. But they could say, we think this was stolen. This is on our account. We're not authorizing any of this usage. Stop the bank account. This is fraud. I don't know how you could pursue that. The car is easier to pursue because the cops will come and get you for that. I don't know if they do for just because people have stolen my debit card information. They have not been immediately arrested. But there are things like that, which are very tough love things to do, but you can do them.
Yeah.
I think after a couple links in the chain, I either would have driven out there or reported my car as stolen if I thought I couldn't get to them in time.
Yes. I do think that there's a level of it being their son versus daughter too sometimes with some of that where I think if Bryce happened to be a daughter, it would have been 9 a.m.
Yeah.
They would have been we're either I'm going to drive and meet you halfway with mom and we'll, you'll get in one of our cars and we'll drive home together or and then they already would have been halfway there and still not have met them and they would have been closer,
Yeah.
There would have been these levels, but I think that I feel by that first call when Christian said he was still there and how weird that sounded.
Yeah.
I feel one of the parents, I know one of my parents because we've had less serious situations where they've been Dad's just coming. So just, he can always turn around. He can always turn around. But this way, we can leave a car and come back and get it later.
Yeah.
If you're too tired,
Yeah. Well, you're going to come back to saying that later. But a lot of people are very curious why parents are just still believing it. But here's the other thing. You really don't want to believe this is going to go badly.
No, of course
you want to believe you can trust your kid. And he really was just blowing off steam. He really did break up with his girlfriend and he was on the phone sitting out in the woods or something.
Teenagers are so frustrating.
Yeah. Here's the other thing that you can do in this day and age that I don't know if you could do in 2013 or not. Fucking track their iPhone. Find my iPhone.
Yeah.
You can see where they are.
Yeah.
Okay? My kids' tracking shit has got to be on at all times.
Yeah.
I got to be able to find you. I'm sorry. This is why. If I see that dot ain't moving, I'm getting in the car and I'm driving to it because I can. Track their phone. Find them.
Yeah. Yeah. I think you have every right to when they're utilizing your
If they're on your phone plan, yes, you can track their phone.
Yeah.
Anyway, I just think they're kind of in a state of
but I don't think they could have done that then, right?
I don't know. I don't remember if in 2013 how much you could track things like that. It was there were iPhones, so
yeah, but I don't know.
I don't either.
Like that.
I don't know if it is as quick as it is now either.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think there was a tracking element on all iPhones. Whatever. They do find him through a ping. Okay. Maybe he doesn't have an iPhone either. It's 2013. Maybe he has something, an Android or something, and we can't do that. I don't know.
It'll be a flip phone.
No, it's definitely not a flip phone. So Christian's going to go out to look for him, right? He finds him in the same place the cops found him. He has not moved. He is still on the side of the road. It is hours later, right? At this point, it's 10:30. He's been there for 2.5 additional hours since the cops left him parked on the side of the road. Christian finds him. He's like, hey, man, I'm here again. Are you okay? He's like, yeah, I'm fine. I'm just relaxing. I'm just hanging out. And I believe at this point, Christian still has Karen like on the phone. He's like, I'm walking over to him right now. He's sitting in his car. He says he's okay. And so Christian goes, okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get in my car and I'm going to tell him that he has to follow me or I'm going to follow him. It's unclear which one, until he gets on the highway that takes him back to your house. So he's not lost. He's out of Buttonwillow. As soon as that happens, I will watch him get on that highway. This is like a 10-mile drive. Then I will go back home. Man who doesn't know them, by the way, says he will do this. They're like, okay, that sounds good. And he's like, listen, get in your car. I'm going to follow you to make sure you do the right thing. Bryce is like, okay. He just sits still in his car for like good 15 more minutes. Yep. He calls his mom because he has to talk to her at this point, or she might call and he answers. And he's like, Karen says to him, what are you doing? Why are you still on the side of the road? And he's like, I might go see some friends later. And she's like, no, you need to come home. What the fuck is happening? Come home. We told the police you were missing. You have to come home. He's like, okay, fine. He drives, gets to the highway. Christian follows him. He watches him get on the highway. Christian goes, okay, he got on the highway. He pulls over after 10 miles of driving and goes back home. Thank you, Christian. You're amazing. And then Bryce just like pulls off the highway to get a drink from a gas station. Immediately pulls off the highway. Like, what are you doing? Why don't you want to go home? Right?
Yeah.
So that's when he gets gas. It's 11 o'clock at night.
Okay.
He's only traveled like 15 miles. So on 3 gallons of gas, you're fine. Or like 20 miles. He gets a drink. He gets some gas. Now, in all this time, he hasn't eaten either. He hasn't done anything unless his car is full of food because there's no transactions. He's just in his car staring into space or something. Then he leaves. About midnight, he checks in with Karen again. He's like, okay, I'm on my way home. I'm going to be home by 3 a.m. What this means is that essentially that whole time he stayed right around Buttonwillow.
Mm-hmm.
He went back to where he just was in that area the whole fucking time. Okay. So Karen's like, all right, 3 a.m. That's when you're going to be home. He's like, my GPS says that this is what it is. She's like, all right, fine. 1:50 a.m. Now Friday morning, Bryce calls Karen again. He's like, I pulled off the highway, but now I'm back on the highway. She's like, okay. 2:08 a.m. They talk one more time. Bryce says, hey, listen, my GPS says like I'm going to be there in an hour or so, but I'm really tired. I'm going to pull off the highway into a neighborhood, park my car, and sleep for a few hours. Because, you have to sleep off sleeping all day or whatever you've been doing.
Mm-hmm.
They say, okay, we'll see you in the morning. I know. I am equally angry because I'd be like, tell me exactly where you're pulling over. I'm coming to get you. I'm getting in this car right the fuck now, and I'm putting you in my car. We can leave your car and get it later. I do not care. I will call an Uber for you. I don't care what it is. I need to be in your presence in the next hour. That's how this is happening. Or the cops are coming to get you again. Pick one.
Christian would have already been in my car with me.
We'd be best friends.
Best friends.
I know. I'd be at his house if I needed to sleep. Yeah. We would have had a coffee. He would have let him. Christian would be like, come on, what do you need, buddy?
Right.
You guys sleep in the garage? It's fine, bro. We'll get you home.
But I had the kid sleeping at Christian's.
Christian's like, I'll drive him 3 hours home. He's like.
And now we're all moving to Buttonwillow.
We visit him at holidays
the
now.
Auto body shop.
He's our best friend. Our families combine. And they're like, okay, I'll see you tomorrow morning. A lot. Again, I think that some people can convince themselves that everything is all right and their brain cannot possibly attach to the alternate explanation.
Yeah.
I don't think it's just that they don't want to drive. I think they think, well, yeah, I believe everything he said and it's going to be fine or whatever.
Yeah.
I am not that trusting of person. Both my kids. I have a boy and a girl. Both of them I would be driving to throw the fuck in my car and get them home.
Yeah.
And then they'd be going to the doctor like immediately. I'd be like,
Right.
what is happening that you just zoned out for like 30 hours?
Yeah.
You can't tell me why you were there. There's nothing in this town. Your car didn't go anywhere in this town. You made no transactions. What the fuck are you doing?
Right. And again, this is one of those cases where like your kids obviously are different than Bryce.
Of course they are.
So you know them and you know those like things. If this is like a weird, like by all accounts to everybody, he sounds very normal.
Yeah, no one that
They're
talked
just
to him
like,
thought he
you're
was like
being
messed
so
up.
fucking stubborn is what it sounds like.
Yeah.
Like what the, like, why are you just being this asshole?
Everyone
right
is like, this is weird.
Yeah. But also you sound completely coherent.
Yeah. Nobody thought he was fucked up or having some kind of mental episode. They were just like, he's just sitting in his car. I don't know why he's sitting in his car. That's what he's doing.
Yeah. So I can understand where, I mean, I can't understand because I'm only sitting from a place of knowing this outcome.
Yeah. And hindsight is 2020. It's so easy for us to say.
Yeah.
And I'm also the kind of parent that is immediately afraid of what might happen to my child.
Yes.
And not everyone exists in that space, and not everyone probably should.
Your brain always goes to the worst. So
I mean, it's kind of my job right now. But like, I'm just saying, like, I have different sensitivities. We all have different sensitivities. Their relationship might have been like, he always comes home. This is going to be fine.
Right.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay. I am not judging them. I'm saying if it were me, my ass would have been in that car.
Right.
But there are reasons that maybe you wouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
Then quite a bit of time does elapse before the parents hear again. But on around 5:30 a.m. on Friday morning, local police officers, California Highway Patrol officers, are conducting a training exercise near Lake Castaic, and which is like a park. It's like a lake and a park, and there's like you can launch your boat into the lake, and it's like a little recreation type area. And the local police officers do like training stuff in that area, and they're out there, and they find Bryce's overturned SUV on a paved access road that leads to the Castaic Lake main boat ramp. At the bottom of a 15-foot, the word ravine is used a lot. It's just a long hill, just a steep drop. It's not really a ravine. The car is on its side. All the reports also say the rear window is smashed. So are all the passenger side windows. The car is fucked up. The windows are smashed. No Bryce. All of his belongings are in the car. His wallet, his phone, his bag, everything. There is a small amount of blood on like the headrest of the car, I think, and a little bit like in and around. I mean, very small amount. And he is nowhere. No Bryce. Some people speculate that after the car crashed, he may have used like the tool that breaks a window to be able to get out and leave. But like there are a lot of broken windows. I don't know about that. But maybe he did. It also appeared that he had like gotten out of the car and walked away. That's what it looked like.
Yeah.
Castaic Lake is 90 miles south of Buttonwillow. So we did drive for an hour and a half or so. And 40 miles north of the Los Angeles area. So he was less than an hour from home.
Yeah.
Castaic Lake is also like kind of a remote little recreation area. It's not like around a bunch of highly developed things. It's like in the middle of like a wooded type area. It's more like, like a lake on a campsite.
Sure.
It's more like that than it would be just like big and on the side of the road or something.
Okay.
So you kind of have to like get in there to do it. At 8 a.m., which is where the story begun, his parents are notified by the California Highway Patrol that they have found Bryce's car, but not Bryce. And a search does ensue. They go and look for him. I mean, like at this point, his parents are like, put out the missing flyers. They tell all his friends, and the cops are on it. They find that surveillance footage near the ravine off Lake Hughes Road. So I imagine this is like a traffic camera or something. Captured Bryce's car on two separate occasions on August 30th, once at 2:15 a.m., which would have been around when he said he was pulling off to sleep, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then again at 4:29 a.m. So he didn't stay there at 2:15. He like drove around a little more and went back at 4:29 a.m. precisely. The first picture was taken just 7 minutes after Bryce made the call to his mother. And this is from news article, when he was, as I said. But then by the looks of the surveillance camera's second footage at 4:29 and analyzation of his tire tracks, it looks as though he drove off the road. So off this access road into the woods. Like we're off-roading now. By a cell tower, and he goes up a hill, right? Once he gets up the hill and he starts to crest downwards down this ravine, it's very steep. He speeds up into it, hits the gas.
Yeah.
Then the car plummets downward out of control, rolls through the woods, comes out of the woods, and lands in the road below it, which is right by the lake. So if you can imagine, this access road is through a big wooded area, and then at the bottom of it is another paved road it goes into the parking lot where the lake is. But the car rolled down through the woods and landed on another road.
Huh.
It's a very strange accident. It's not really, doesn't really feel accidenty.
No, that feels purposeful.
Feels very purposeful, but then where is he?
Right.
According to the television show Disappeared, quote, an extensive search around the area where the car was found abandoned was conducted with the help of volunteers, rescue teams, search dogs, and police drivers, but they turned up no sign of Bryce after more than 2 weeks of searching. But the dogs did find a little bit of something. Following the disappearance of Bryce Laspisa, the tracking dogs found his scent by his car, the wreck of his SUV, and they followed it near Castaic Lake, along a bridge, and to a nearby truck stop. At the truck stop, the trail went cold. So if these dogs are right, he got out of that wreck, he walked around Castaic Lake over a bridge onto the road to a truck stop, and then got into a vehicle or something and was gone.
Wow.
If that is correct, that's what it seems like.
Yeah.
Because how else do you leave a truck stop with your scent gone? You don't. And that's all we have, really. They search and search and search. On the 4th of September in 2013, a body is found on fire right next to Castaic Lake. They think, oh shit, this is Bryce. It is not Bryce. It is somebody else.
Oh my God.
Wild, right? They were like, oh, this is 100% what happened. No, another one. There's been a lot of sightings of Bryce since then. They still happen. I'm really, you know what? I'm not going to talk about them because none of them are real.
Yeah.
None of them have been substantiated. People, when you have a tip line, people just report all kinds of things all the time. They probably have reported most redheads in that area at this point. None of them really pan out. There is a Facebook page devoted to the search for Bryce. If you scroll back, you can read interviews with his mom and with Kim. Poor fucking Kim. The local news did interview his girlfriend, and she didn't cry. So the media, people just assumed she did something awful. They're like, oh, she knows. She's terrible. She's not crying. No, she just went through a horrible ordeal. And also, if I were her, I'd be like, I fucking said take his keys. I'd be losing my mind.
Yeah.
I would be doing everything I could in my power to not say that to the press because that's his mom will never recover from that. That's a terrible thing to say.
Yeah.
But if I were her, that is the only thing I could think about was God, I fucking told you not to let him get in his car.
Yeah.
So she wasn't crying and everybody thinks she's the worst. Kim is fine now, by the way. She's since married. She's doing great. Good for Kim. So now after that, all we really have are theories, One of them is he's still in the lake. They think the car rolled and he flew out one of the windows and rolled into the lake and that was it. He got out of the car and wandered into the lake and drowned. The lake was searched with sonar and divers and no one found him. It's a big enough lake, but I just don't know that it's been searched several times. You really don't think we would have found a body?
Right, it wasn't like the ocean.
No, it's a lake lakes can be big, but again, sonar and divers, and there is no evidence that he's in that lake and nothing of his has washed up at all.
Right.
A lot of people really lean hard to that. They're like, he's in that lake, he's in that lake, he's in that lake. Okay. But also he rolled the fuck out of his car that he was strapped into and just rolled. He would have to have rolled through the rest of the road parking lot, down more of a hill and into the lake. It's not like you just went, I'm in the lake. There's some distance you have to go.
Yeah.
I don't know that I believe he's in the lake.
Okay.
Some people think that he hit his head really hard, crawled out of the accident, but was very injured, crawled or walked into like the surrounding woods, and animals got him. There are mountain lions in that area. If you're bleeding and you're wandering around in the woods, that could happen. It's true. And then you wouldn't find anything because they will eat you. But they didn't find any blood. There's no blood trail. If you were injured that badly and you were walking through, like, he would have had to walk back over the road, up into the woods. Like, he would have had to have walked from the wreck site. Don't you think we would have seen footprints or blood or a place where he fell or if he was really gravely injured?
And also, like, I mean, they started these searches pretty soon after.
Yeah. 5:30,
like,
they found the Jeep and he crashed
not,
at like 4:45.
A body.
It would be tough.
Like,
I mean, they could have dragged him off somewhere or something and they could have not found him right away. But like, that's...
I feel like the dogs would have smelled that.
Yeah.
That would be a pretty strong smell.
Maybe. I think that's... Some people also think maybe he was really out of it and he crawled into the woods where he ended up staying for a couple days and then animals got him. But again, dogs are searching. They would have found him if he was there. It's weird. Some people think that he hit his head so hard he didn't know who he was. And he walked to that truck stop and then just like got into a car or like hitchhiked or ended up, catching a ride with somebody. A lot of people think that as a recourse of that, he ended up in a homeless camp in the area. And he's one of those really sad stories where someone like just ends up homeless or in a hospital and nobody knows who they are. Okay. But a lot of people are looking for him. So that's kind of hard. And in a day and age where homeless people at this point, they still think he might be doing that. Okay. If he is, there are a lot of homeless people that actually have phones and social media.
Yeah.
Somebody probably would have been like, I feel like that guy is somebody. Like, maybe not. But to me, it seems like there would have been some kind of word somewhere. But maybe not. We don't know. Another theory is that maybe someone sinister picked him up at that truck stop. Maybe he had a friendly and injured face and this was a crime of opportunity. Someone got him and assaulted him and he didn't make it out. He met with foul play. Some people think this was a suicide attempt. Like he drove his car down that embankment and then just like, I guess, threw himself into the lake super injured and he's still in that lake. Some people also think that he was getting picked up at that truck stop and this was an orchestrated event. Where he was like, it's going to look like I'm dead. They're going to think I'm in the lake. And then I'll just disappear. And he walked to that truck stop and had someone that was picking him up at the truck stop. And he just started a different life. He just didn't want to be where he was doing what he was anymore. And now he lives somewhere else under a different name doing something else. I mean, his social security number hasn't been used. His driver's license, ID, nothing has been used. His name hasn't been used. Nothing. His existence has stopped, but that doesn't mean he didn't surface somewhere as somebody else. People do it.
Right.
Those are all the theories we have, and we have no confirmation of any of them. But what a lot of people then focus on, rightly so, is why did this happen? It's so strange. Why did he have 30 hours of off the grid, like dicking around in his car? Some people think that if he was trying to end his own life, he was debating it. He was like, I don't know if I want to do this. And he was just stopped on the side of the road, like wrestling with his demons and stuff. The same could be said if he's like running away from his whole life. You could really be thinking over something. And he did say to his mom, like, we have to talk about something.
Exactly.
So people always think like, what is the big change in your life? Some people speculate that he was going to say like, I want to leave school. I have a problem with drugs. There are a large amount of people, they're like, oh, he was going to tell his parents he was gay. There is no evidence that he was gay. Maybe he is or was. I don't know that, but neither did they.
Right.
It's like kind of a like wild thing to say. I mean, I guess they have connected some dots. I'm not going down that road because I don't have any concrete proof that I saw that was big enough for me to go, yeah, that seems like a really valid theory. I mean, sure, that could be a big thing you have to tell your parents that they might be upset about. Okay. But like, we just don't have any evidence of that. Then some people say, as much as his parents, and I'm going to say this with a huge grain of salt, parents have said they have a good relationship. They have not been weird to the press. We don't have any concrete evidence of anything bad happening. But he does have some friends that were like, his relationship with his parents was not awesome. He'd fucked up in his life sometimes. They were really kind of done with his shit. It was, some people say they wanted to be more controlling. Some people said they just wanted to put him away. And a lot of people think he wanted to just get out of that relationship. He wanted to escape. That's why, like, he had never called them in the first place. Like, notice that he only is in contact with them because other people make him be in contact with them. Like, he doesn't choose to do that at first.
Right.
So there are a lot of people that are like, no, it wasn't what you think it was. But we have no evidence of that. We really don't. But we can harken back to things like, well, some people really lean on the fact that his dad has a child from a previous marriage that they just totally cut out of their life, and that was fine. Like, is that a thing that they do? Then people think, did he resent moving? Did he go back to Naperville? Did he leave and one of his friends from his like home picked him up and brought him back there, brought him back to Illinois? No one has found him there, but that's a theory people have. And then there's also, and I lean heavily into this one. And again, like I said, those are theories about his parents. I am not saying those are the truth of the matter. I'm just saying it's information that's out in the world. Then there's the fact that he hadn't slept in days and he was on prescription medication that he did not have a prescription for. Your brain might not work correctly when you are doing that. It could make you think you are suicidal. It could make you think that you are in a horrible, desperate position or that you're running from something. And if he did have, like, say, bipolar that was undiagnosed, I'm not saying he had like a schizoaffective disorder because everyone thought he sounded perfectly fine. But if he did, he could have unknowingly medicated himself into a state where he just didn't know what he was doing. And I mean, we look at it, he's driving around endlessly in this town. We don't know why he's doing that.
Right. And he keeps saying he's like maybe meeting friends. Like, it seems like he's waiting for something.
It does. And there's no release of phone records that say while he was sitting out there, he was talking to anyone.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that's a part of this case that would have been discussed. If they're like, he called X, Y, and Z. He didn't call any of his friends. He didn't call his girlfriend, ex-girlfriend, whatever. He didn't call his parents. And nobody else is coming forward. And there's nothing on his phone records.
Yeah.
But there's also huge gaps of lost time.
Yeah. I think there's like a couple of things, like couple of theories that I feel like I could like pick from to like piece together like some truths in there. I mean, one of the weirdest parts for me is like, he's not, I don't think he's would he be familiar with that lake area?
No.
So it's just like, he just happened upon like being able to drive through and like know to drive right off this cliff.
Well, he drives by it once and then again.
Oh.
And this also is at a point in time where he has a GPS.
That's true.
It's 2013.
Yeah.
You can look things up on your phone at that point.
Yeah. Yeah.
But there is no evidence that he had like been to Castaic Lake and cased it out. There's also no evidence he'd ever been to Buttonwillow before.
Oh, well, sure.
Why are you in that weird little like side of the road town forever?
Yeah.
I don't think there was any, honestly, I think he just pulled over there.
Yeah.
I think that's just where he ended up stopping. And then it was where he knew where he could
had
stop.
driven for so many hours and then just stopped there. And like you said, there was like a service station.
There's a gap in time. Yeah, he leaves Kim's house at 11:30. And then the next concrete evidence we have of him anywhere is him needing gas at 9 a.m. in Buttonwillow. Buttonwillow is not 9 hours away from Kim's apartment.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. But there would definitely need to be like probably some sleep at that point.
Right. But he said he wanted to sleep, but a cop there's no reports that say if they walked up on him sleeping.
Yeah.
They just
I just mean between
car.
that 11:30 and 9 a.m. I mean.
Or there wasn't because he had taken uppers.
Right.
He said he took one pill to his ex-girlfriend or whatever, but that doesn't mean that's what he took. It doesn't mean he didn't have more with him that he then took, and they didn't find any evidence with him because he took it. I mean, like, you take, and I maybe have downplayed some of the effect of stimulants a little bit, not because of what they necessarily do to your brain, but also what they do to your body.
Mm-hmm.
If you've taken too many of them, your heart is racing out of your skull. Like your eyes are going to be like darting and dilated. Your jaw's going to be tensing up. You're going to look like an animated cokehead. Like it does do that stuff with you. And I said in my first talk about Vyvanse, like, yeah, it can make it makes all my muscles like cramp up. It's not like a pleasant thing. It might have become difficult to drive. And also when the crash happens, if you're on several of them, it could have been like crushing thoughts or depression or something. I don't know.
And those can last for days.
If you're, probably. If you're taking it and you don't have a prescription and you've taken a large quantity of it, you could crash for a much longer time than usual.
Yeah.
For sure. I also think that he didn't test positive for any alcohol use by the time the police got to him, but he had been in the car for over 24 hours. He could have, at some point, been drunk, then took a stimulant, didn't feel drunk anymore, drove, and then the drunk crept up on him later, and he had to pull over and sleep because his body caught up to him. And he was like, shit, I can't process this now. My body just told me that I'm fucked up.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it because I had taken like 75 milligrams of Vyvanse or something.
Man.
There's a lot of factors.
There are a lot of factors. This one.
I know, which is why all of that like pre-story information feels important to me.
Yeah.
Having no sense of home, like we talked about last week, being like, oh, you left after graduation, your parents moved, you moved to this college that's far away from your parents, you have no anchor.
Yeah.
To me, that means like, maybe he did want to go back somewhere where he felt like he had a life.
That, or he just got to the point where if there was trouble at home, like all of that makes it very plausible for him to just be like, I just need to start over somewhere else. Like I don't have a home anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I just feel so disconnected.
Yeah. I'm just like
my friends have moved on. I'm not there anymore.
All the friends that he had, they're talking to about this are friends he had for at the most like a year and a half. They're not like long-term friendships. So
right. So, but it does sound like, I mean, the beginning of that 30 hours, it sounds like he was like considering unaliving himself.
That's what a lot of people also speculate because they're like, well, he did things like sew up relationships. Like he broke up with his girlfriend so that she wouldn't be looking for him. He gave away some of his possessions. He told his friend that he really loved him. And then he just got in the car and drove off.
That, or just the fact that he was like, I'm just leaving. Like, and I don't.
Yeah, those are all absolutely indicators of like an impending suicide. Any mental health professional will tell you that. Where that goes weird is like all of the phone calls and the dawdling in the same location and things. Like, what are you doing?
But then that just sounds like I'm contemplating.
He's contemplating it, sure, yeah.
Or like, I need to figure out where maybe he's just like, I know I'm going. Now I need to figure out where I'm going.
Right.
Like if he's deciding like, I don't want to die, but I want to leave.
Go away. I want to start my life over again.
But then like how with like no money, unless he was like.
Unless he had someone meeting him.
Unless someone was meeting him and maybe he was like pocketing little bits of money, like squirreling away money.
Maybe this person had money he had slowly embezzled or whatever. Like if he met somebody at that truck stop and they are not talking and they just took him somewhere else where he could get a job and stay with them for a few weeks and start a new life. Maybe that's what I'm saying. In this case, and I said it in the very beginning, I truly can't tell you what I think happened to him.
No.
He could easily still be alive or he could easily be dead.
Yeah, sometimes it feels a little obvious. And then this one's like...
It really doesn't.
Tricky.
Yeah, there are people who have held funerals for their long missing children where I'm like, yeah, I'm so sorry, your kid's probably dead. This one, I'm like, I truly don't know.
Yeah.
You could tell me in a couple years that he turns up and I'd be like, yeah, all right. You could tell me that his body turns up and I'd be like, yeah, all right. I just want the explanation, but both are definitely possible.
Like there are times like with a body of water like that where police are like, there's a good possibility he is there.
Mhm.
You know, like that body is in there. Even though we like went through it,
Yeah.
there's still a possibility versus like them feeling like obviously there's always a chance. It just doesn't feel like they're there.
I think where this one is unique is that there is no signs or indication of foul play. There just isn't.
Mm-hmm.
Like usually when they say, oh, they ran away or whatever, you're like, bullshit, something happened to this person. They were meeting someone grabbed them. There just isn't any evidence of that. There's so many check-ins. He was so public.
Mm-hmm.
He was sitting in a rest area and on the side of the road. He wasn't like in the woods or in a hole or something. And they went through all of his stuff at this point. Obviously, if there were, they're not public, but there's no emails or phone messages that are like, I want to kill you.
Right.
Were you dealing drugs and I got you? Were you selling? I know. It's just a ... There really is no
And
finish.
it's frustrating because it just feels like then all you're left with is just getting mad at the people involved.
Yeah, for sure.
You know?
100%.
Yeah.
Some people are like, oh, he maybe had bad friends and he met up with people and owed somebody money or did this, that, and the other thing. I'm like,
I know it sounds like there's like a mob involved or
but there is no chain of any kind of thing like that. There just isn't.
There wouldn't be, Holly.
I guess.
There wouldn't be.
And his roommate left his sneakers out like perpetually to be like, when he comes back, I'll be there for him.
So sad.
It is sad. But it's also kind of like the perfect crime because, again, like his roommate knew him well enough, but that's not like his childhood best friend.
Yeah.
He couldn't tell you all of his habits and eccentricities. They had only been living together for a week.
That's true.
Yeah. His previous roommate, he didn't live with anymore.
But he knew this kid for...
Yeah, they were friends since he like started at that
they
college.
Said like, I love you, you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, this was his sophomore year, so I'm guessing he met him like his freshman year. But that's
so they were like strong college buddies, you know?
Yeah.
Those are like strong relationships.
Definitely, they are strong bonds, but they also
you're like living on a campus with them. You know?
But my point is like, nobody had such a firm grasp in his like family dynamics and his habits because they weren't around.
That's true, yeah.
They can't really be like, yes, Bryce is really close to his parents, or no, he is not.
Does Sean have anything to say about the parents?
I think he's very careful.
Yeah, that makes sense.
There are, sides of the internet that are absolutely convinced that his parents like were not great to him and that they just kind of like let this happen. They were just like, whatever. And they pushed him away, and that's why he left. There are huge sides of the internet that believe that. And then there are other like, victim-centered sides of the internet that are very much like his parents are saints and all this stuff.
Sure.
I really think, as with everything, they are not the worst parents, nor are they award-winning parents. They're just parents.
Yeah.
It's somewhere in between.
Yeah.
It's always somewhere in between.
Wow. I can see why this case is like...
really sticks it with people.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's also weird to have that kind of disconnect for some people because they're like, well, he was raised as an only child. How is there any disconnect with his parents? He is their only child.
I don't understand that thought.
I don't either because like...
I mean, you just either are connected or you're not.
Yeah, I'm not in like everyday constant contact with my parents and I'm an only child, but
Yeah.
And there are some people that are really mad that there's reporting that he's an only child when his dad has another. There's just all of this speculation in the world, but it never lands. Yeah. None of it ever has a fact to attach to.
Yeah.
So
there are a lot of frustrating parts to this.
Mm-hmm.
A lot.
Yeah. The reason I hovered on the medication aspect of it so much is that I feel that it's a very unique situation wherein he could have been on an ass ton of medication, the specific medication that they're talking about, and still spoken to people cognizantly.
Right.
He wouldn't necessarily have been out of his mind. Here's the other thing. Maybe he had ADHD you didn't know about. He had all kinds of like issues in school and he was impulsive and he partied and he had
Yeah.
drug problems when he was young and he drank a lot when he lost his license. I'm like, that sounds like an impulsive kid that can't focus to me. He can't keep a job.
Right.
Maybe
yes.
he needed it.
Right. So that's my thing. Because obviously you're initially talking about like taking a drug like Vyvanse, and if you don't have ADHD or potentially have maybe other underlying issues that aren't diagnosed yet, like here are all these things that can happen.
Mm-hmm.
But also if you do have ADHD and Vyvanse is not, and you are not properly on Vyvanse or doing the check-ins or taking too many, and then, because that's where I'm just thinking of like, some of those pills are like, you have those couple of weeks sometimes. Sometimes it's a couple weeks where you're adjusting to them alone.
Yeah, for sure.
Or if you, maybe like his girlfriend said he had taken one, but then if he is having a crash and then isn't going back on one, like maybe that was all he had, then that is like like sometimes it's like days it takes to like recalibrate your body back to normal. So you're just in a depressive state.
And here's the other thing. If I have no evidence of this, but if you have, for him, I mean, if you have ADHD, right, and you never diagnosed, imagine what it would be like to take that recreationally, because it will make you stay up no matter what. Like my medication, you have to time it at night. You can't take it too late or you will be up all night. Like it does do that. But imagine also like suddenly like you can think clearly.
Right.
It's depressing as shit when that wears off. If it's not like your life, it's not like actual treatment that you have. Suddenly your brain is scrambled again.
Right.
But you don't know that's appropriate treatment. That's also an element of why it would be crazy depressing if you were on that. I mean, yeah, maybe you're just staying up all night playing Madden, but also you are locked the fuck in.
Or, I mean, there could also be that level of, sometimes he's thinking very clearly and realizing that there's a lot of shit going on, like kind of better maybe understanding his life and if he likes it or not.
Yeah.
And then goes into the big crash and is still remembering those thoughts, but now in a depressive state.
Yeah, it's also like, for me, ADHD medication, a lot of it's like, it's focus. People say it's focus. For me, it's motivation.
Yeah.
A lot of it is motivation. Like I will end up in a hole where I cannot do anything when I don't have my medication. I can't get off the couch.
It's motivation and it's confidence.
Yeah.
It's like those go like hand in hand.
And when you suddenly have motivation, you feel like the light turned on.
Yeah.
You're like, holy shit. I feel like I could keep going. I feel like my life it's livable. I can do this shit again. And when it wears off, you're like, no, I can't. I'm done. No, I can't. No, I can't. If you don't know that's what's going on, like that could be terrifying and upsetting. And you could be like, well, I guess I have to do drugs forever or I'm cooked. I have no proof of this. Again, we're just speculating at this point, but there is so many possibilities.
Yeah. It could have changed. I mean, he could have, at this point, if he's been doing recreational drugs and drinking for, so long continuously, that can also alter.
Yeah, because there's evidence that he did ecstasy. There's evidence that he's done mushrooms. He wasn't like a guy that didn't do party drugs. He did.
Yeah. Could have had a latent trip.
There's just...
and they're like, when you do acid, like years later, you could just have a random trip. You're like, wait, what?
No, thank you. There are so many like ways this situation could have collided to make the perfect storm.
Yeah.
And maybe one of them is that like he's a mastermind and he faked his own death and disappeared. That is just as likely as anything else. Because if he did drive off that embankment purposefully, where is he?
Right. This is what I feel like that's like the one I would go with. Like he drove off and it was kind of like, I may die, but if not, I'm going back to that truck stop.
I'm starting over or something.
Starting over.
I don't know. Because the thing is, before I looked at all the evidence of this case.
This was a TV show. He would have like walked back somewhere and like it would have been Christian and then like end credits.
Yes. Kind of hope it was. No. But like the thing that people also don't visualize with this case enough, is that his car didn't like come to a stop on the bank of the lake. It came to a stop on the road, on a paved road that the lake is then to the side of.
Yeah.
You can't just barrel roll out. Like, that's not what happened. I don't understand that theory. Like, he would have had to have like wandered into the lake.
Yeah.
Or been projectiled from the car. But that's the other thing. The car came to a stop on the passenger side. He was in the driver's side.
Right.
There is no evidence that he was ejected out the windshield. The windshield is not broken. It's the side and the back.
Yeah. I mean, if he's in the lake, I would think that he just walked into the lake and drowned.
Yeah. Or he like stumbled out. Or he just
like
kind of like stumbled and like ended up in the water and drowned.
Yeah.
Possible. Where are his tracks? Where are the blood?
Like,
where is
he
anything?
Did get a drink. I was going to say, because he could be like thirsty. Like, it could have been so many things and him being like, water. But like,
maybe he couldn't see. We don't know. Maybe he injured his face and his eyes and he couldn't see where he was going and he couldn't get out. That's a scary thing. Imagine living through that and then you like blindly go into a lake and you can't find your way out.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Tell us what you think.
Yeah, man. I mean, if you want to go down the rabbit hole in this case, you can. You can for a long time.
We just did.
And there's hundreds of pages of web sleuths theories and timestamps and discussions, and there's Reddit feeds, and it just keeps unearthing information that does not pertain to the case at all. But you may look, and we may see Bryce again. You never know.
You never know.
Maybe he's listening to this right now. And thank God we thought you were cool. So
yes.
I hope you're living something exciting.
I know. I need those Facebook messages back. Toast.
I guess first just Bryce, man. Like, because I don't know what his eventuality was.
Right.
So I hope he's out there
Bryce,
somewhere.
I hope wherever you are,
you're happy.
You're doing well.
Yeah. I mean, what's weird is that the best case scenario is that this was on purpose and he's living some great life somewhere else.
Yeah. Just like a tiki hut somewhere.
He's on a beach with a big cigar, something like that.
Yeah.
Or in Europe. He's on an island off of like Italy.
Yeah.
I hope that's cheers.
Right.
I hope that was the outcome.
To Christian?
Yes, to Christian 10 times over. Well, the best Samaritan the world has ever known.
And
Kim.
To Kim. Because that's just
Kim
unfortunate.
and Sean, they tried. They both tried. They called home.
Yeah.
She took his keys. She tried.
Yeah.
They both tried. So cheers to them.
Yeah.
And to Bryce's parents, I have no evidence that they did anything wrong. And they have not stopped looking for their son since this happened.
Yeah.
They have not, they're not like, whatever. Like, they're clearly trying.
And they need answers.
They do. I think that, and I don't know that I have a we would be dead because I don't know that he's dead.
I know.
This is a hard one because this case is so unique. It's really hard for us to sign this case off because we don't know if we'd be dead. We don't know if that's how this story ended. So to sign off for the week, I think maybe we just need to have a little bit of a laugh.
Okay.
So if we disappeared for 30 hours in a little remote town hours away from home and told our parents we were just hanging out for a while.
As a teenager,
we would be dead. With their car and their credit card. Dead.
Oh, yeah.
Dead. No, thank you.
Grounded for weeks.
In our death, also grounded.
Yes.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to the We Would Be Dead podcast. Hit subscribe now to never miss an episode. Rate and review our show on iTunes. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Would Be Dead Pod. And join our Facebook group to discuss the podcast and more.
Come and look.